going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over how to create cinematic 3D title cards for your music videos. Before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know that my name is Danny and I run the motion visual shop where I sell editing packs and presets for video editors. So if you guys would like to level up your edits and you guys are interested in that, I'll have the link down in the description. I also just started a Discord server, so that's a good way to connect with me and also just ask any general questions. And I also have the link to that down in the description. With all that being said, let's get right into the video. So here in After Effects, I have this camo music video, and it's a fire song as well as a fire music video. I really like the color grading for this, especially for this specific shot right here. So to begin, you're going to need the plugin Element 3D. If you guys don't have that, I highly recommend installing it because it's literally built for After Effects. So, you know, the workflow is really convenient. And to get started, we're going to create a new text layer. For the character or for the font, I'll go for contrast and semi-bold. I'm pretty sure that's a free font, but of course you can use whatever font that you want. And for this text, I'll just write motion media. And I like to have the anchor point right at the center. So you want to select your text layer, hold the control button, and then click the anchor point tool twice. So that just centers the anchor point. Also going to align it and make sure that it's right at the center. Open up the scale and let's just scale that up a bit. Scale that up to like 170. After doing that, let's create a new solid layer. And for the solid, the color doesn't really matter because we're not going to see this layer anyways. For this layer, let's add the Element 3D. And then once you add Element 3D, go to the custom layers, custom text. And then for the path layer 1, you want to make sure that you select your text layer. And because we are going to use this layer in order to create the 3D title, you can just turn off the other text layer. Then go into the scene setup. Once you go in, there's gonna be nothing there, so you want to click extrude so that you have your 3D title. For this one, I'll be adding a physical bevel. So we have a lot of different choices right here. I'm just gonna go for this one right here. I like the way that looks. And just like that, it really makes the 3D text look even better. But I don't really like the way the red color looks. So once I open up the extrusion model, go to the shiny light, or before changing the color, let's go to the extrude and also just change the settings for some of the bevels. So I'll just decrease the bevel segments to 0. That just creates sharper edges for the text. I'll just do that for all 4 of the layers. Decrease them all to 0. For this one, let's increase the extrusion. I'll increase this to, I think 0.95 looks good. So I'll only increase the extrusion for both the shiny lights and leave the other bevels as it is. For this one, let's increase it to like 0.35 or 1.35. And then for the colors, I'll just only change the color for the shiny lights. Because the color for my footage has a lot more like yellows and blues and like greens, I'm also going to change the color similar to that. So I'll go for more of like a yellow color. I think that looks pretty good. So I'll just leave it like that. And then once you change the settings, click OK. And then just like that, we have this 3D text on our footage. So we're gonna be doing a little more. I'll also just rename this to 3D title. And I want the text to like blend in with the footage. So it's really simple. Just go to text custom texture maps and then go to layer 1. Make sure to click your footage. Then we want to go back into the scene setup of the element. And then go into textures, or you can just scroll down and then find textures. Go to the environment settings right here. For the textures, you want to load your footage that we connected from earlier. Click OK. And you also want to double check just to make sure that all the other ones are connected. So this one isn't. So just load the environment and then just like that. So we have the environment texture for all 4 of these layers. You can also see like the lighting kind of affects the text. I don't know if you guys can notice that. So after doing that, let's change up this a little bit more of the settings for this 3D text layer. Go to the render settings, and then for the ambient occlusion, I'll just enable that. Then I'll just change the mode to ray traced. So right when we do that, it slightly changes the look of the 3D text. Then I'm going to go to glow. So enable that and then decrease the glow intensity. Going to decrease that to like 0.3. And if you don't want to use this glow, then you can just use, you know, the glow from the actual effects and presets panel. So I'm just going to keep it like that for now. We're going to now animate our subject. Make sure to open up group 1 for the effect. And for the animation, I want it to scale from small to big and also rotate. So for the rotation animation, let's open up the particle look. Go to the multi-object, make sure to enable that. And then we're going to focus on this rotation right here. So I want it to rotate at the start. Let's rotate it at like 120 degrees. Keyframe that at the start, and then click your layer, click U to reveal the keyframes. Then I want it to feel really smooth. So I want the animation to last pretty long. I'll just go forward to like 2 seconds and 12 frames. Keyframe that back to 0. Then easy ease the keyframes. Also going to turn on the motion blur, and then let's just play this through to see how it looks. All right, so it takes pretty long to render because we're working with a 3D layer. I want it to last just a little longer, so let's go forward in like a few more frames. Also just change the resolution to 3rd quarter. So after playing that through, I like the speed of this animation. Now we're going to animate this in, and the way we're going to do that is go to the animation engine, then make sure to click enable, and we're going to focus on this animation right here. So when I adjust this, as you guys can see, it like scales in, and there's different ways to animate this if you go to animation type. So in our case, I want to go for a random animation, increase the animation to 100% so that we don't see it at the start, and then go forward. I wanted to animate before the rotation actually finishes. So let's go back from this keyframe like 20 frames. If you hold the shift button and then click page down twice, that goes back 20 frames. So at the 2-second mark, keyframe the animation back to 0%, easy ease both of the keyframes. So I think that looks really smooth, and I really like the way that animates in. So another thing that we can do is also animate the environment lighting. Go back to the render settings, open up the physical environment, and then click rotate environment. For this one, when I'm rotating the X rotation, as you guys can see, like the lighting changes. So what I'm going to do is actually keyframe that at 0 degrees at the beginning. And I also want this to last longer than the actual animation of the text. So let's go forward another 20 frames from this last keyframe, and then just increase this to like a random value. I'll just increase this 240 degrees. Make sure to click U to reveal the keyframes. I'm also going to keyframe the Z rotation as well. So if I do that, that also creates a different look. So let's keyframe that at 0 degrees at the beginning, and then go forward to the same length as this keyframe, and I'll just increase this to 215. Easy ease both the keyframes. This is what we have for the animation. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the way that looks. It doesn't really look too simple, and it feels really dynamic and smooth. I'm going to create a zoom out animation so that right when the text animates in, we have like a camera zoom out, and it just makes it look even better. So I'm going to create a new adjustment layer and then add the transform effect. Have the scale really zoomed in. I'm going to zoom it into like 500%, and then let's go forward to like the 1 second mark, keyframe that back to 100%, easy ease the keyframes. Make sure to turn on the motion blur as well as video layer as well. Go to the graph editor for the scale keyframes. I'm going to change this where I have the influence on the right side at 100%. I'm going to create this one to 0.01%. So it goes really fast at the start, and it slows down towards the end. When I play this, we have this zoom out animation. I think that feels pretty smooth. But to make it look even better, let's bring these keyframes back a few frames. I'm going to bring it back like 1, 2, and 3 frames. Because I want the 3D text to animate in a little faster, I'm going to grab all these keyframes, and let's also bring this back a few frames. So I'll bring that back 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when I'm doing that, I'm obviously looking at the composition to see how fast the text is actually animating in. And then when I play this, we have a really smooth animation. But that is the final animation. It looks really smooth. I like the way that looks. But of course, when it comes to animations like this, there's a lot you can do with it, which is why I really like Element 3D. But that is all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out my editing packs and presets, I'll have the link down in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.